So it's like I've been able to work on these passions because I'm not working and I'm just with the kids, and when they're at school and the little one's here, I try to record these videos. But now it's the weekend, so they're both home and they're both doing their thing. And I still want to do it no matter what the situation is. Even if they're being loud, I still want to get the message out that needs to come out. But if I start working, then I won't have that time to really work on my passions, and I won't have the support to help. So it's like my passions will get put on the sideline. Whereas if I go back to Toronto, I'll have some support where I can continue working on my passions even if I start working. So it's like all of these perceptions are changing. And so these opportunities are coming up in my mind of what could be, whereas before it was just negative, like, no, I can't go back there. I'm going to suffer. It's going to be a struggle. It's not going to be worth it. But like, even if it's sometimes a struggle or it starts off as a struggle, by me making conscious choices and going on my intuition, so even if it's not the best possible situation in the beginning, I'm the creator of my reality. So I make it the best possible situation by the choices that I make. So since I've healed my nervous system and I don't allow myself to get overwhelmed, and I know how to deal with those situations when I do feel stressed out, then I'm able to make better choices and I'm able to come up with solutions faster, and I'm not staying in that state of, oh my God, what am I going to do next, right? So it's just how you perceive everything and how you look at it. You can make anywhere a home. It's just whether you choose to make it a home or not. So just like here, I could make this a home. I could settle and do all this stuff, but I'm seeing that it's not what I want. I've been here for 8 months. I've done actions to try to make it a home. Yeah, I could do probably a little bit more, but even if I do those more, I don't think I'm going to be fully happy here. It's not where I see myself being anymore. It was nice, it was fun, and I felt that the first time I came. I came here for a year, and I thought it was because me and my partner were having problems. But no, I realize now being alone is still not what I want. So when you're making decisions, and they're life-altering decisions that are going to change the course of your life, then it's like, see first if your perception is changing before you make that grand decision. If your perception is like wonky, where it's going back and forth constantly, then you're not ready to make that decision. Like when I already thought about this in September, the next month, all these things, I kept coming up with this idea of going back, but then my intuition said, you're not ready yet. You still need to stay. There still needs to be more time. And my perception did not change of that place. I was like, nope, that's not for me. It's cold, blah, 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 all these reasons, right? But now that my perception's changing and I believe that I can have the best life possible there if I choose to create that, then the universe will work with me to make that possible. I won't get into a state where I'm not making things happen because I've already done so many things to show myself that I'm disciplined and I can make things happen for myself, and that the universe has my back and I'm divinely protected. And once you make that decision, you got to do everything in your power to make it the best possible outcome. You can't look back at the life that you left behind, because then you're going to constantly be fickle and not be able to focus and be in the present moment to make changes, because you're like, oh, what if I stayed? What if? You made that decision, stick with it. I'm not saying that later life can't change and that the universe might not lead you to somewhere else after. It's like, it's not that everywhere has to be a fixed place. But when you go back there, you have to do your best to make it possible. Make the right choices so that you really try to see if there's a life here. Like me coming here, I think I did everything in my power to try to see if this is where I want. But my intuition is just telling me this is not for me. This was never meant to be a place for me to stay. It was just a stopping point. It's like when we leave a place because we're miserable, it's only because our perception of things, because we chose not to make our life better in that situation. Whereas anywhere we go, we can make our life better. It's based on the choices that we make, based on the people that we let into our lives. So it's like all of these things play a factor in us really having the life of our dreams, is seeing things from a different perspective. And you have to realize what's the most important thing to you. There's going to be some things that you have to give up that are important to you because the other things are more important. They have way more value than those things in comparison. Like being in nature and having all-round sun, like those are really important to me. That's what helped heal my mindset. But not having a community and not having support, then the support in the community outweigh the need for nature and sunlight. So it's like, yeah, if I go back, I'm not going to get sunlight all year round, and I can still be in nature, but it'll be different. In the winter, it'll be doing winter sports. In the summer, it'll be going to forest, grounding myself. And also, I can always go away for a few weeks and get that sunlight and soak in the nature and go away again for another few weeks. Like, it doesn't have to be that I need to be living somewhere that's all year round nature. I can make it work where I get the sunlight when I need the sunlight, when I feel like I need a refresher. So yeah, everywhere you go is going to be a sacrifice, and through doing the work of healing, self-love, all of these things, you start to realize what sacrifices are worth it and what sacrifices are not. So again, you could be living in paradise, but if you don't have community or support system that you can rely on in times of need and to have fun with and to interact with and to learn and grow and all these things together, then it's not worth it being in paradise. Then you go somewhere where you can have that, where you already know that you had that before. Even like support, like even though I don't talk to a lot of my family anymore, there is some family members that I talk, and if I need them, they would be up there for me. The kid's dad, if I need him, he'll be there for me. He'll be helping with the kids as well and doing it 50-50 with me. So it's like that support alone is better than having no support whatsoever. Like I remember one time a few months ago, I got really sick here. I got a fever for almost 2 weeks. It wouldn't go away, and it was the scariest thing possible. So it's like I still had to get up and take care of the kids and and it was during actually Christmas holidays now that I remember, and I still had to get up, make the kids food, do everything for them while I was feeling so weak from this fever. I still got up and do it. But what the scariest part was that I was running out of groceries, and every day I kept saying, okay, today's the day where I'm going to have enough energy and the fever's going to go away, that I'm going to be able to go to the grocery store. And the next day I had the fever. The next day I had the fever. So it was like I had no support. That's when I realized, oh shit, like support matters. Like if I need to go to the hospital, who's going to take care of these kids? Like how am I going to get groceries for them? All of these things that was like, when I was good, I was like, nope, I can survive. I don't need support. I can do it. I'll figure it out. But when you're sick and you are not able to do something, that's when reality hits you that maybe I do need support in my life. And I was lucky that there was a lady that I made friends with whose son goes to my son's school, and we meet up sometimes, but always something doesn't work out where we can't meet up, right? But however, she's a really good-hearted person. And when I told her, and I don't like relying on people, I like doing things for myself, but I was in a predicament where I had no other choice. I needed food for the kids. So I asked her if she could go to the grocery store for me, and she did it for me. So it was like that one person was beneficial, and I'm grateful for it because she helped me when like if I didn't have her to help me, I don't know what I would have done. I would have been in a really bad predicament. I would have had to force myself to go, and I was feeling so weak, and that I don't know if I would have been worse just by going out. So that was when I started to realize that like maybe it is time for me to go back home, because I never want to put myself in this situation where I don't have any support, where I don't have a person that can look after the kids when I'm not feeling well, or drop off some food or anything like this. Like it's not worth it to be in this situation if that's the case. So it's like the universe will send you signs. It'll give you help when you need it because you've been praying and doing the work and you're a good person. So the universe is going to be like, okay, you need help. I'm not going to let you suffer. But in the sense, he's also showing you that, is this really how you want to live, where you're scared to ask someone because you don't really know them that well and you haven't built that rapport with someone? Or do you want to go somewhere where you have that support, where you know no matter what, those people would be there for you?